How you doing? My name is George. I'm with Truck Driver Nation, and what I want to go over is going to be about funneling. It's not a hidden skill. Most people don't actually know how to do it, and that's sad because funneling is a major part, and funneling can be used on multiple things. Inside Truck Driver Nation, if you end up attending our course, we do emphasize funneling because it's used in different aspects, and I'm gonna kind of go through them real quick just to make you sure you understand why this is so important. So what is funneling? Funneling is the process of guiding people through communications step by step. All of it's communication, no matter what you're looking for. You got to excuse me. I'm dealing with, there was a volcano here and ash got in the air, and I think that's what's messed me up. So I'm a little messed up in my sinuses. Now, instead of random conversations, you create structure. Instead of chaos, you're building a reputable system. And instead of losing leads, you're staying connected. Now, why this matters in freight dispatching, drivers and carriers are constantly moving. If you don't respond fast, stay organized, and follow up properly, someone else will, including me. I'm always waiting for people to slip. I'm always willing to step in there. Um, so in today's industry, communication speed and structure matter. There just is no excuse for not being able to communicate accurately. The day of calling every single person, that's obsolete. Okay. When we actually teach you to do it, we teach you the tools of the industry, the integration, the APIs, and all that different stuff that actually make some of it even automated. So why not automate it, especially if it's not going to cost you a subscription? Subscription is subscription that. There's a way, if you can think, and that's what we're here to help you do, think that you can get around those problems without paying somebody another $200 or $300 a month. Now, like I said, the industry has changed. Modern freight dispatching is no longer just phone calls that everybody leans on. What we do is we teach you how to use lead websites, lead forms, SM systems, email communication, drip follow-up systems, automation, and digital organization to actually bring all this together to formulate a strategy. If you don't have a strategy, how do I put this? Strategy is necessary. If you don't have it, turn the lights off, put a blindfold on, take a BB gun, and just put a target up and you're shooting in the dark. I don't know how, I'm real direct and real brash. A lot of people don't like learning from me, okay? And I totally get it. But I'm not here to play games with you. I'm trying to wake you up. That's the problem with everybody these days. You didn't have a father or mother or somebody to push you in the direction where you have to take accountability. In freight dispatching, I drove for 24 years. And that was been my biggest problem is that I'm dealing with people on that phone that are not taking care of my needs. And it costs me dearly. I didn't make the money I should have been making because they didn't have a funnel. And I didn't learn all this stuff till after the fact. And I started saying, well, what was wrong with the situation? Why was I suffering because of somebody else's actions? Okay. So we teach you this. So when you do talk to your owner ops or the brokers or whoever you actually talk to, tell them I'm set up because they're going to see your setup because it's pop, pop, pop. You're staying on top of everything. There ain't stuff falling in between the cracks. That stuff falling in between the cracks, that's what the funnel prevents. So I hope that makes sense to you. And that's the reason we teach all this. Now, most courses never teach this. Many dispatch courses only teach load booking, paperwork, dispatch terminology, and basic broker communications. That right there reminds me of 1980 something if it don't anything else. But they never teach how to manage data, how to organize leads, how to follow up consistently, and how to build systems that keep your business actually flowing, which equals growing. And this is why people are struggling about even after the training. I get people all the time, man, I took this course. I learned to be a freight dispatcher, or I learned to be a brokerage or a freight agent. And now I don't know what to do with it. If you learned it, the easiest thing in logistics, because there's so much work available, is what to do with it. That tells you the quality of education you got. I'm not putting off state colleges and community colleges and a university, but I know the difference. The money I pay for those schools and the money I pay for going to a full-fledged university, hands down, that criteria was totally different in the way they viewed me and the way that they taught me. Now, what do we teach at Truck Driver Nation? We teach more than dispatching. We teach more than truck driver recruiting. We give you the whole inception of the owner operator, the broker, direct shipper, you as a freight dispatcher, and a recruiter. So inside Truck Driver Nation, we cover lead organization, communication skills, SMS workflows, email follow-up, aggregate systems, automation concepts, re-engagement strategies. Re-engagement strategies. That's literally people needing help. They're telling you they need help, but you lost it on the first drop, but you're able to come back to it because they may have been still shopping, but you're able to come back to it and reinvigorate them. Hey, I heard from them before. It's like planting a seed. Once the seed's planted, give it some water, then come back to it and check on it again. And modern funneling methods. Modern funneling methods is an in-depth portion in itself. But thing is, you can do all this with software, like with these modern funneling systems, but I'm going to show you how to get around it without all that, and you're doing the exact same thing. Literally, what you pay for some of this stuff, I've got VAs that are cheaper than the software you're buying, and they're doing everything. In addition, you can get other stuff done with them to make sure that you're not losing money. Every dollar you place, what is your return on that investment? You got to look at that. I don't care if it's $1. What am I going to see for that $1? Okay. Well, they always said, a closed fist, you really can't lose nothing, right? Because you got the money in the hand. Don't open up. Say, here, take it from me. If you open it up and let them take it from you, they'll take as much as you're willing to stick out and still try to stick their hand in your pocket. But and the biggest thing you need to understand, because if you can't control your data, you can't control your business. I hope these words are ringing home to y'all, because these are not just random things. It took me a minute to sit down and work this all out to show you exactly how we're doing it. And I'm going to teach you how to carry all this all the way through. Now, attention spans are short. Woo. I mean, dude, what was her name? Oh my gosh, what was the name of that fish that was on Saving Nemo? I can't remember her name, but she turned around and she can't remember where she's at. That's about how attention spans run and a lot of the population. You got to get it down. That's the reason you got reels. And we'll teach you all about that. Social media in the aspect of all these things in these funnels. They actually help with your funnels, right? We're talking about reels, shorts and stuff. You know, they want them less than 60 seconds. Some of them want them less than 30 seconds or 45 seconds and that is a long time to hold somebody's attention. So when you're doing 3-minute, 5-minute, 8-minute videos and stuff, that's bad, because you got to get in there, grab their attention, and bring them back to the fold about, hey, you was looking at me. I want to try to tell you something. I want to try to help you with something. Now, yes, these little videos are a lot longer than that, but this ain't one little clip that's helping you out, trying to wrap your head around it, because if you're looking at this and you're following all the way through, you're looking for a reward at the end of this, and the reward is to solve the problems. Now, people obviously do this. They ignore phone calls. They forget their emails. They stop responding, and they get distracted constantly. They ignore the phone calls, even though you're bulk texting or SMSing them, right? They forget about looking at their emails. The emails are really hard to push unless you're hitting them from email, SMS, phone calls, and they just stop responding. So you got to maintain that level of engagement and give them something for their worth, for their time when they look at that engagement. Like here, this is something worth it to you. This is actually showing you how to build your business. What are you letting slip through your fingers? And I can't help laziness. You're lazy, hell, do whatever you need to do. I can't carry you down that road. But a lot of people don't have the work ethic they should have, or they get distracted constantly. I mean, in the United States, you got so many things going on. It literally is this. Hey, come here. Can you come hang out with me? Hey, this person called. I mean, you got to get people out of your face. You got to cut the world off and do your thing, and don't tell people what you're doing until you're actually successful. Then you ain't got to tell nobody nothing. They're going to see the results, and then they're going to ask. Okay. Not that you owe anybody an explanation or anything, but when it comes to funneling, you got to know where to cut things off, or otherwise what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up running your business every day instead of building your business. You can't do both. So, that being said, funneling is not spamming. Spamming to get you shut off. TCR, these other platforms that they actually use integration, whether by the federal government or the carriers, like phone carriers and stuff, they look at the number of SMS and spamming through emails, all these things. They allow so many things before you become flagged, and everything's just pumping the spam. You are wasting your efforts. So you got to know how to manage the algorithm to be able to make sure that this is effective. And we go through all this. Professional funneling systems help you stay organized, communicate clearly, respond faster, build relationships, and reduce lost opportunities. This is about structure and consistency, not pressure. Okay. You see me, I've got my schematic, I got my notes, I'm reading off of them. I can't remember everything to tell you, but this is what I put into practice. And every person that I have with us, as we train them up, we integrate. I don't just integrate, hey, here's a whole damn funnel. This is the list, follow this, whatever. I have to actually slow down. It takes time to build it because it has to become a natural part of their daily routine. I still have to go back and do a checks and balances to make sure that they're doing their given task. Okay. Now, why this creates opportunity? People are looking for work from home opportunities. Everybody wants to work from home. I'm literally giving you actual real life work from home. You know, you want somebody to hand you something. Who in the hell owes you something? Okay. You got to take what you want. Okay. I don't, and I'll leave it at that because I'll get real passionate about that. I hear that broken noise every single day. And you want an independent income. That means all the money's coming to me. And then I decipher what needs to be spent on what given outsource that I have to have. But at the same time, I still want to make sure that return on investment. Remote careers, be anywhere you want with what we're doing. Flexible schedules, depending on how you're doing it, we show part-time and full-time. So in that, even in your funneling process, where do you want that to be implemented at? You know, I don't want to call every single person. You hear my voice? That's just from a volcano. Crap, get in the air. If I spoke with everybody every day, I'd be out. I'm literally sucking on like a little mouth mint right now because I talk so much, and just like the debris in the air right now, it's affected me. And the one thing you got to obviously do, if you do the other parts, you'll end up with a scalable business model. You know, we teach a lot of things on how to scale, how to actually get scalable for pennies on the dollar. And people act like we owe it to them to figure this out. Because if they had figured it out, they wouldn't be asking us. That's the reason when you come to me, I'm giving you everything. You can't say, I didn't make it. Oh my God, I'm not making no money. You chose not to make the money. Money was already sitting there waiting on you. Okay. The line's long with a bunch of hearsayers, jabberers, backbiters, and all that other mess that comes along with this. Segregate yourself and build your team around your given task, your given goal, your given ambitions, so not everybody's made for your team. I may not, if you hire me, I may not be made for your team, but I know this much in my professional experience, because most people are not going to talk to you like this because they don't want to hurt your feelings, and you want to try to control the semantics of something. Good luck with that. Okay. The real people that I know are in logistics, they're hard asses. I mean, I'm going to be straight. They don't play games. They don't want you in this industry. Okay. They know they can keep absorbing as much as they want. And all you got to do is set it up and run it, and it will literally grow on its own. My business grows on its own. All I do is tend to it. I'm a farmer. I have 100 and something acres. My job is to till that soil, test that soil, make sure I got enough, because water is life, make sure the nutrient base is there, and make sure I got quality genetics in my seeds, and the rest of it will take care of itself. I did the baseline work. Nature will take care of the rest. So when you're planting seeds, make sure that you're dealing with the right given structures so that you will have the success. And it ain't that hard. All right. Next thing is truck driver nation difference. We come from real trucking and logistics background. 24 years driving. The rest of that time has been, now I was already truck driver recruiting before that, but that being said, truck driver recruiting, freight dispatching, brokerage, and including truck driver. I mean, the truck driver recruiting, people bypass it. If you actually follow the funneling system, the way we teach it, you can incorporate those other ones without even doing any outreach. It's already there because I show you how to set it up that it draws in the other factors. So you want to keep that phone ringing. If you're not ringing, you're not doing business. But you can't answer our phone calls. So I show you other ways to actually still address all those given issues. So you're meeting everybody's need and keeping them engaged. And then they'll reach out when it's time for them to make that move. They're there. I'm telling you, everybody acts like sales magical. People want what they need. And what they need is dependent on what that person's individual needs are, because everybody's at a different growth spurt in their overall growth and development, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever it is. But in logistics, that's what we're focused on. So everybody's different in growth avenues, because there's not an all-out course that teaches all these real-life business practices that you're going to engage in your own business. So we do understand the communication floors, the driver interaction, the operational structure, and the importance of systems. And that's really the baseline of all this. There's nothing more. If you can communicate, interact, you got some kind of a structure and the importance of your systems and how they interact with each other, that communication. There are call centers that don't even make phone calls. They literally type all the messages. They're literally here where I'm at, and there's different types. You got ones that take inbound, outbound, some of them that just are like customer representatives and all that type of stuff. And so we go over all those so you can understand where you want to set your organization in that platform. I can't answer all these phone calls. I really wish I could. I see phone calls coming to me, ring, ring, ring. I'm literally having to send a voice message because I'm on the phone. The average minute of time it takes me to actually talk to somebody, because nobody knows nothing when they're calling me. Even if they've been in logistics, they're calling me because they got information missing. They're not going to tell me they got information missing. By the time I get in the conversation, I know they got information missing because they're asking me remedial questions. I'm not hating on them for it. That's what I'm here for. But that being said, depending on what you're doing inside this industry, your task, that's what you're going to be dealing with. And now brokerage is different, recruiting is different, freight dispatching is different when it comes to teaching people or being an actual freight dispatcher. So everything has its pros and its cons. Now, the hidden skill most dispatchers never learn is how to build a system around their business. It's your business. You can do as much as you want in it. But if you don't have a system to make it keep moving forward and you're trying to manhandle, micromanage, doing the gross lifting, you're going to wear out. Heart, oh my God, heart, brains, lungs, liver, kidneys, that's all you are. That is literally what makes you a human. You're going to wear those out because the physical stress that it can bring on to a human body will actually kill you. You cannot, at the level that we run at right now in 2026, the physical and mental engagement that's required, you've got to listen to me when it comes to actually learning these systems and how to make. It's like me trying to turn a bolt out and I got a wrench in the toolbox. Instead of me doing that, I'm sitting there with a pair of tweezers trying to twist the bolt out. Just get the wrench out. I'm going to show you how to get the toolbox. The toolbox pays for itself. You're going to be a mechanic? Be a mechanic. You're going to be a cook? Be a cook. You're going to be a freight dispatcher? Learn. The virtual world, working in the virtual world, ain't nothing like sitting in an office. Okay, the rules are different. How we engage is different. That's the reason you want to work from home. You be anywhere in the world. You don't have to just sit in one spot unless you're a homebody. You know what I mean? But that being said, I hope that resonates with you. But anyways, if you don't understand how you're building your business, that what we are actually teaching, we're teaching freight dispatching, communication strategies, follow-up systems, organization, and funneling concepts designed for today's transportation industry. For today's. Will it change in the future? Of course. Ain't nothing static in logistics. But as you do, even me as the owner of Truck Driver Nation, I have to constantly be engaged to make sure that I'm keeping us above that edge. I literally have people around me that work for me. They get stagnant brain. I can't be like them. Okay. They work great. They do their jobs, all that stuff, but I cannot think like them. Okay. I've always got to be engaging, want to push it to the next level, push it to the next limit. I literally get people telling me, well, this needs to be this particular way because they don't have the vision that I have. Sucks. A blessing, but it sucks because now I have to stop. If I really want them to know what I'm doing, I've got to actually stop and explain everything out. Okay. That's what you're going to be facing. So if you learn the basic core values of actually being trained up correctly first with the assets that you're going to need handed to you, there's no reason you can't succeed. So anyways, that being said, I'm going to kind of leave it at that. So if you need help, you got any concerns, you have questions, go into Truck Driver Nation, go to the homepage, come down, there's a QR code. You want to get through me through the phone system, try it if you want. I would definitely say hit the QR code, go through Telegram. I'm always there. I monitor that all the time. It's like a load board for me because it has safety departments, freight dispatch students, truck drivers, driver recruiters, has everything on there. So I'll see your information. But anyways, that being said, I appreciate it. I hope this helps you understand why people are missing out on so much, why they're struggling in their business, because they're not wanting to understand why the funnels are so important. And a lot of people got different opinions, and there are other types of funnels that are totally different than what we actually do, what we need inside logistics. So this ain't a all inclusive answer, but for freight dispatching, this is the way it works. Okay. And the what we're going to teach is all the intricate, that ain't intricate. It's detail, attention to detail. If it ain't right and it didn't happen, you need a paper trail, digital paper trail as well. You got to have that footprint. And the other thing is paying attention to detail. So if it ain't right and it didn't happen, pay attention to detail. And if you don't kick yourself in gear, it's never going to happen. This is one thing, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of different things, but this is one tool that you're going to use no matter what you're into. You'll take this tool, and even if you transfer into a totally different industry, this right here, if you're working from home, this is going to be the tool that you'll see you'll repeatedly use this given format and scenario, okay? But anyways, I appreciate your time. I hope to help you guys out. Make sure to hit me at Truck Driver Nation. For my students out there, if you've seen this video, if you see any way that we need to do any improvements on it, that always helps as well. But outside that, I appreciate you guys. Everybody have a blessed day. And for you drivers out there on the road, please be safe. Talk to you guys soon.